US President Donald Trump's fixation on Greenland has now gotten even stronger as he has threatened European nations backing the island nation's territorial sovereignty with a blitz of tariffs. In a Truth Social post, Trump said he would impose the 10% tariff on goods coming in from Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands and Finland till a deal is reached for the purchase of Greenland. A diplomatic jolt to leaders in Europe and beyond, Trump's message is clear. No deal is ever final. Trump's 10% tariff will eventually rise to 25% in June on 8 European nations. Came after the nations collectively vowed to shield Greenland against American aggression. Troops from different NATO countries have already amassed in the Arctic. All eyes now remain on the European Union. How will it defend itself from Trump's attack? In a joint statement, EU leaders said tariffs would undermine transatlantic relations and risk a dangerous downward spiral. Ambassadors from the European Union's 27 countries will be convening an emergency meeting, possibly to discuss counteracting measures to the all-out economic war launched by the White House.
This is not how allies should treat each other, and in that sense, I understand the word blackmail. Yes, absolutely. We have until February 1st to really present a united front, to make it clear that we do not find this acceptable. And we have also stated that, as far as we are concerned, the territorial integrity and self-determination of Greenland and Denmark are not up for discussion.
French President Emmanuel Macron, who has been vocally opposing Trump's Greenland takeover, has now warned that no amount of intimidation will persuade European nations to change their course. Macron's message was echoed by the Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson, who warned the EU would not be blackmailed by Trump, and the Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre, who said threats have no place among allies. Macron has now called on the EU to use its most powerful measure, something that the bloc has never used before, known as the anti-coercion instrument. It is the Commission's trade bazooka that allows for curbing imports of goods and services. The instrument allows EU to react and target unprecedented economic coercion. French Agriculture Minister has said that Trump also has a lot to lose from threatened tariffs. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni says it was a mistake for Donald Trump to threaten tariffs against opponents of his plan.
I wanted to tell you that the perspective of an increase in tariffs for countries that have chosen to contribute to Greenland's security, in my view, is a mistake, and I do not agree with it. I share the US presidency's focus on Greenland and the Arctic, which is a strategic area where excessive interference by actors that may be hostile must be avoided.
Responding to Trump's threats, Polish Foreign Minister said that tariffs can only be imposed on the European Union as a whole.
I hope someone will explain to him that we are a customs union and you can only put tariffs on the EU as a whole.
Slamming Trump's tariffs, Ireland's Foreign Affairs Minister described the tariffs as completely unacceptable and described the unequivocal support from the EU as something that is democratic and acceptable by international law. Greenland praised the reaction of European countries. Minister Naya Nathan-Nielsen said she was amazed to witness the first responses from the targeted countries. Danish Foreign Minister will now be visiting fellow NATO members Norway, the UK and Sweden to discuss the alliance's Arctic security strategy. Thousands of people marched against Trump's wish to acquire the mineral-rich island in Nuuk, the seat of Greenland's autonomous government. Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen also joined protesters who waved Greenlandic flags. Thousands more protested in Copenhagen and other Danish cities. Many of them carried Greenland's flag, while others held signs with slogans like "Make America Smart Again."